Blue Lock's God of Soccer is a lie. Video by Denny, aka Flappy.
Jinpachi Ego was mistaken, and God does not.
Okay, crazy first sentence to even say. Jinpachi Ego was mistaken. He literally has glasses, and he created Blue Lock, and he's low key like the Aizen of Blue Lock. He's been planning and manipulating everything for the most part. Like he's just incredibly smart. You're basically saying that the smartest character made a mistake, which is possible, but I doubt it. He's like the Light Yagami of Blue Lock, the Aizen of Blue Lock.
Exist in Blue Lock. Now I know, this sounds crazy, because since the beginning of the series, Ego has been shown specifically to be multiple steps ahead of everyone else, seemingly knowing every single answer to the game of soccer.
Yeah.
But him believing in the god of football actually highlights his biggest and most prevalent character flaw. As previously mentioned,
Bro, God of Football was such an interesting concept. Like, I really got to get back into Blue Lock. I haven't read the Blue Lock manga in a while, but like, I need to get back into it, bro, because God of Soccer, I mean, it just sounds cool. Like, there's not even much else to say. It just sounds cool. I love the concept.
Ego is solely responsible for the nurturing of all the strikers of Blue Lock to the current.
Nah, fair. This shit is not soccer. Here's the thing, bro. Blue Lock Loki isn't a soccer anime. It's Loki a battle shonen disguised as a soccer anime, because the expressions that people be making in the manga, just everything, like the expressions, the rude talk, people calling each other donkeys and stuff. Oh, I'm gonna devour you, stuff like that. It's just like it low key feels like a battle shonen, man.
Capabilities. However, with chapter 328,
You got characters in Blue Lock saying, "I'll kill you." Like, that sounds like a battle shonen. That doesn't sound like a soccer anime. Why are we talking about killing people?
it actually makes it so clear why Ego quit playing soccer and shifted to a coaching role. So today, we're disproving the existence of God in Blue Lock, highlighting Ego's biggest reoccurring character flaw,
All right, take us to school. You writing with the chalk on the chalkboard? All
and
right.
theorizing what the absence of God actually means for Isagi in the future. Alright, if you made it this far in the video, consider subscribing for more Blue Locker anime content. I leave sub
Alright.
notifications on, and it literally makes my day with every sub I get. But okay, back to
I
the
feel
video.
you.
Thanks. So let's get to the heart of the theory, and let's just get it out of the way. Ego didn't see God. He convinced God for a mix of flow and luck, essentially confusing his own skill for divine intervention. For 7 minutes, Ego played so well and everything went so right, it couldn't be explained by logic. For a strategist like Ego or Isagi, it makes complete sense why he would have to imagine something supernatural to explain the unlikely. That was a tough line. But okay, let's take a look at what the supposed god of football looks like according to Ego. It's a humanoid creature with feathered dark wings. Okay, cool. Now let's take a look at the goddess of luck that's highlighted at the end of the second selection.
Wait, what? There's a goddess of luck too? Wait, what? And why is she kind of bad?
Seem to share a striking resemblance, to the point where even if there actually is a god of football, they must be somehow related to each other. But this theory suggests that the god of football and the goddess of luck are actually just one being. They're one and the same. Ego's interpretation of God was simply his own skill plus a mastery of luck. We learned at the end of the second selection that luck is the process of putting yourself in the right position to get lucky. In simpler terms, at the end of the day, you can't control luck, but it's possible to maximize your chances at receiving it. For some, it's having a rabbit foot on their keychain, and I mean, who even came up with that?
Luck is kind of a very weird concept because, like, I don't know. I I I feel like you can't really control luck. Doesn't that go against what luck is? It's meant to be something happening purely by random chance. I don't know.
But in the world of Blue Lock, it's anticipating where the most likely spot to achieve your goal is. Pairing this ability with flow, a state of consciousness that maximizes your focus, I believe that Ego simply played out of his regular plane of consciousness, to an extent where he couldn't be explained by logic. But then how does this tie into Ego's character flaw? Well, that's actually easy. Ego is a massive hypocrite. Kanashiro has been planting these seeds since chapter 1. He preaches about one's ego and striker mentality, and yet he actually isn't the one changing Japanese soccer. He's letting a group of kids steal the spotlight while he sits in the
Oh, shoot. Okay, well. Okay, here's what. That's a fair point, right? His name is literally Ego, and he's letting. Well, here's my thing, though. Ego probably has so much knowledge. He's like the freaking. He's like Kenjaku from Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, Ego has so much knowledge that even if he doesn't have like a huge ego, he can birth somebody with a huge ego. Like he is going to create the best soccer player in the world. So like honestly, I just feel like it doesn't really matter. Ego, he probably has so much knowledge from playing over the years. He played with Noel Noah once, I believe.
Shadows. He's constantly keeping Blue Lock in peak physical shape, even though he's currently a slender, noodle-eating insomniac. He's wishy-washy on when he wants to enforce his lessons on egoism, such as when it's fine when Izagi or Kunigami sacrifices their ego for a goal, but if Karasu does it, then he's suddenly killing Blue Lock. And most importantly, he quit soccer because he got too lucky and couldn't live up to it, and yet slanders Nagi for doing the exact same thing. Now, Nagi and Izagi are actually two sides of the same coin, and Ego is simply the one who flips it. He's insanely similar to both of these characters, even though they themselves couldn't be more different from each other. Nagi is an extraordinary talent, a soccer newbie but a natural genius who can still compete, while Izagi is the definition of plain. He's a side character who woke up one day wanting to be the protagonist and weaseled his way using sheer willpower. He uses his brains and nothing more to deconstruct the pitch. Ego is equally as analytical as Izagi while being as dysfunctional as Nagi. Either of these two protagonists could have been the main character, and yet the coin happened to land on Izagi. In another life, Nagi's philosophy and skill are the ones being cultivated by Blue Lock. But this is yet another example of how hypocritical Ego is. In his speech when Nagi was eliminated, well, actually, let me just read it out to you verbatim. Ego says, "But talent changes depending on the one's surroundings and mental state, based on friends and rivals, goals and emotions."
Well, yeah, true, but I mean that just feels like yes, obviously everything is based on context. Goals and emotions. I mean, yeah, he's just kind of saying that everything factors into like your talent. Yeah, of course.
Can increase or decrease talent, and sometimes you can get a result that surpasses.
Yeah, like bro, let's say Nagi Seishiro had like had this like girlfriend who he really loved and she broke up with him right before some big game. Yeah, obviously that's going to affect his mental state and he's going to be off of his game and he'll probably end up losing. Like, yeah, your emotions affect how you play for sure.
Your talent. But the biggest factor in withering talent, it's satisfaction.
Ooh.
Okay, so now clearly Ego wasn't satisfied after he met God. This is clear in his talk with Izagi. But he quit soccer because he knew he could never achieve it again. But I think their encounter was actually a test of his resolve to continue, and he ended up faltering. If Ego was as egotistical as he's preaching, after his encounter with this God, he should have kept
It's so ironic because bro's name is literally Ego, man.
fighting until he forced him to appear again. He and Nagi are the same. And this brings us cleanly into what
That's crazy. He kicked Nagi out of Blue Lock. And you saying him and Nagi are the same. That's actually wild though. When you think about it, it really is crazy though. Ego is kind of, yeah, hypocritical for that. Because if their personalities really are similar, if they are the same, it's like, how are you gonna basically scold him when he is you? You need to scold yourself too.
this means for Izagi. Have you ever thought about just how egotistical Izagi is? I genuinely don't think Izagi would be happy winning with God on his side. He would want God to serve him, not help him. From a story perspective,
Nah, that's cold, bro. I'm sorry, that's cold, man. You want God to serve you? Man, get it. Come on.
the presence of
Hey, I could see Isagi being like that though. Like, it's crazy how Isagi Yoichi, he was just this normal average high school boy, and he lost his game in episode 1 and then he cried over it. And now he's like this titan among soccer. Like, it's genuinely insane. And he doesn't even train his physical stats. All he does is use his mind. He uses his brain to just get smarter and come up with more creative plays. Like, he's literally done like zero like physical exercise for the most part. It's insane.
a God who just picks and chooses who to help at any given moment just sucks. Imagine Germany versus Japan. It's the World Cup and it's a close match. All of a sudden, Kaiser gets a handy from Soccer Jesus and blows Japan out of the water. I never thought I'd say that sentence before, but I think you get what I mean. If
Hey yo, wait, hey yo.
God is real in this story, then it will just turn into a battle of who can get God on their side first. Any feat would just be attributed to, oh, well, yeah, he actually.
And this is why people say that Blue Lock is not a soccer anime, because why are we talking about God in relation to soccer? Why are we talking about God? Like literally, why are we talking about God in this video, man?
He got God on his side, so I guess it makes sense.
It's a soccer anime.
So what does this mean exactly for Isagi? Well, he will do exactly what Ego couldn't. I think there will be a time where he reaches this godlike state, when things mix perfectly with flow and luck. And for 7 minutes, he's able to control the field like a deity. Except he's going to realize that it's either his own skill and not the interference of a god, or have the overpowered ability to recreate that feeling. And finally, in film, everything in a scene is intentionally put there, even if it looks so mundane.
Here's the thing, if you win with God on your side, is that even a win though? Like you literally have God helping you. Of course you're going to win. But it wasn't really of your own volition, your own skill, your own talent, your own hard work. You're just relying on God to score a bunch of goals.
Someone on that set placed it down. Well, manga is the exact same, and maybe even more intentional, because if it was drawn or said by a character, there is a reason. So why did Kaneshiro specify that Ego saw God for 7 minutes? Well, in Japan, the number 7 is considered a representation of luck or good fortune. So when Ego thought he had the powers of God by his side, in reality, it was just our first hint at why we should look deeper into the fine print. Otherwise, what's the purpose of adding this line? I honestly don't think I would have questioned it if Kaneshiro said that Ego played like a god for a full game. Honestly, what can you even achieve in 7 minutes? That's like one goal. But the fact that the number 7 was specifically mentioned as it ties to Japanese good fortune and the god of soccer's striking resemblance to the goddess of luck, it was enough to convince me, and honestly, it should be enough to convince you too. But that's pretty much the theory. I think it would add a lot to the character of Jinpachi Ego to fully highlight his character flaws. Up until this point, he's been kind of explicitly shown to be mentally superior and flawless, but it would add...
Yeah, I'll be honest, I think this is a really great theory. Because, especially with the 7 thing, right? 7 represents good luck, and then, you know, even at the start of the video, you were talking about, you know, it was really just luck. It was luck combined with, like, skill or something, I believe. I think you said it was luck combined with skill, but the point is there is no, like, god of soccer, no true god of soccer. The god of soccer just symbolizes, like, sort of a feeling or a state that you're in to a degree, right? It's not, like, all of this is symbolic. There's no real, like, god of soccer, but, you know, essentially it just symbolizes reaching, I guess, the peak of luck combined with, like, flow or something.
So many layers if the character who's supposed to be their teacher and all-knowing is actually just a failed product of his own philosophy.
Yeah. That was really interesting. I guess I really just need to get back into the Blue Lock manga. But honestly, I think it's a good theory. I don't know if it's true. We'll just have to wait and see what happens in the Blue Lock manga, honestly. All we can really do is wait for more chapters, but yeah, I'd say it's a good theory.